The council chamber of the Galactic Assembly hung suspended in the void between stars, a monument to peace that had endured for 3,000 cycles. Within its crystalline walls, representatives from 47 species had gathered to witness what they assumed would be humanity's final humiliation. Elena Chen stood before them, her dark eyes scanning the sea of alien faces with practiced calm. As Earth's diplomatic envoy, she had spent 5 years absorbing their insults, their condescension, their casual cruelty. The humans were young, they said, primitive, a species that had barely crawled from their cradle world, now begging for scraps at the table of the mighty. Behind her, Adam Reeves maintained his position at the security detail, his hand resting casually near his sidearm. To the assembled aliens, he appeared to be just another human guard, unremarkable and unthreatening. They had no idea what he truly represented. The Zarkathi ambassador, a towering reptilian whose scales shimmered with bioluminescent contempt, rose from his seat. The human petition for mining rights in the Kepler sector is once again denied, he announced, his translator rendering his hissing speech into flat, mechanical words. Perhaps when your species learns proper deference to your betters, we might reconsider. Laughter rippled through the chamber. The Velcrim delegates clicked their mandibles in amusement. The gaseous Etheron representatives pulsed with colors that their biology reserved for mockery. Elena's jaw tightened imperceptibly. This was the 43rd petition Earth had submitted. The 43rd denial. For 5 years, humanity had played by the rules, had bent the knee, had swallowed every insult with gritted teeth and diplomatic smiles. They had been patient because they were told patience was the price of admission to galactic society. But patience, like all resources, was finite. Ambassador Zarkath, Elena said, her voice steady as starlight. I have a different proposal today. The reptilian's eyes narrowed. Oh, more begging. Perhaps you wish to offer your primitive art as tribute? We hear your species excels at cave paintings. More laughter. Adam's hand moved a fraction closer to his weapon, though his face remained impassive. Elena reached into her diplomatic case and withdrew a data tablet. No tribute. No petition. Just information. She activated the holographic display, and the chamber filled with tactical readouts, star maps, and columns of numbers that made several delegates lean forward with sudden interest. What you're seeing, Elena continued, her voice cutting through the murmurs, is a complete inventory of human military capabilities. Not what we've shown you, not the outdated patrol craft we use for system defense. This is what we've actually been building for the past 5 years while you laughed at us. The Zarkathi ambassador's laugh was uncertain now. Impossible. We monitor your production facilities. Your shipyards produce barely enough vessels to satisfy your inspections, yes, Adam interrupted, speaking for the first time. His voice carried the clipped precision of a career military officer. The shipyards you know about, the ones we wanted you to see. The hologram shifted, revealing massive construction facilities built into the asteroid fields of humanity's outer colonies, hidden in the shadows of gas giants camouflaged within the rings of Saturn itself. Hundreds of warships, each one bristling with weapons technology that made the Council's defense fleet look like museum pieces. Impossible, the Zarkathi repeated, but his scales had lost their luminescence. The galactic conventions forbid. Forbid member species from militarization, yes, Elena said softly. But Earth isn't a member species, Ambassador. You've made that abundantly clear with 43 rejections. We're just the primitives who've been asking nicely for permission to mine rocks. A Velcrim delegate rose, her voice sharp with alarm. This is a declaration of war. No, Elena corrected. This is a declaration of independence. For 5 years, we've played your game. We've followed your rules. We've absorbed your mockery and your prejudice because we wanted to believe the Galactic Council stood for something noble. We wanted to be part of something greater. She paused, letting her gaze sweep across the chamber. But you taught us a valuable lesson. You taught us that in this galaxy, respect isn't earned through diplomacy or patience. It's taken, and humanity is very, very good at taking what we need. Adam stepped forward, his movements precise and controlled. Effective immediately, Earth is claiming sovereignty over the Kepler sector and 17 additional resource-rich systems in the outer spiral arm. Our fleet is already in position. Any attempt to interfere will be met with overwhelming force. The chamber erupted into chaos. Delegates shouted over one another in 47 different languages, their translator AIs struggling to keep pace with the cacophony. The Zarkathi ambassador's scales flashed angry crimson, but beneath the bluster, Elena saw something else in his eyes. Fear. "You cannot do this," he roared. "We are the Galactic Council. We have maintained peace for 3 millennia. You've maintained a hierarchy," Elena countered, her voice cutting through the noise like a blade. "One where established species hoard resources and keep newcomers weak and dependent. You call it peace. We call it oppression." She closed her data tablet with a sharp click. "Consider this humanity's resignation letter." As she turned to leave, the Aetheron Prime Minister, a being of swirling gases contained within a force field, spoke in a voice like wind through canyons. "If you do this, every species in this council will unite against you. You will face the combined might of 47 civilizations." Adam smiled then, a cold expression that held no humor. 47 civilizations who've grown fat and complacent, who haven't fought a real war in generations. Do you know what humans have been doing for our entire history? Fighting. Wars, revolutions, struggles for survival. We're very good at it. It's practically all we know. Elena reached the chamber doors, then paused and looked back one final time. "We came here in peace 5 years ago." We asked nicely. "We followed your rules. We gave you every opportunity to welcome us as equals." Her voice hardened. "You chose mockery over diplomacy. Now you'll learn why that was a mistake." "You should have remembered something about humanity," Adam added as he followed Elena out. "We're the species that looked at the food chain and decided we belonged at the top. We're the species that split the atom and reached the stars in less than a century. We don't stay down when you push us. We get back up and we push harder." The doors sealed behind them with a hiss of pneumatics, leaving the council chamber in stunned silence. Outside, as they walked toward their shuttle, Elena allowed herself a small breath of relief. "Do you think they'll actually fight?" Adam checked his tactical display, where green dots representing human warships surrounded the council station in a perfect sphere. "Some will try. Most will negotiate. They're used to being the predators, Elena. They've forgotten how to be prey. And if we're wrong, if they do unite against us?" Adam's smile was grim but confident. "Then they'll learn the hard way why every predator on Earth learned to fear humans. We're not the strongest species. We're not the fastest or the toughest. But we're the ones who never stopped hunting, never stopped innovating, never stopped pushing forward." He looked up at the stars scattered across the viewport. "They should have welcomed us as friends. Now they'll know us as a force of nature." As their shuttle departed, carrying Earth's delegation away from the council they had just fractured, the message was already spreading across the galaxy at faster than light speeds. The young species from the Sol system, the ones who had been dismissed and mocked and denied, had finally shown their teeth. And the galaxy would never forget the day humanity's patience finally snapped. In the weeks that followed, 17 species would request immediate diplomatic channels with Earth. 23 would begin emergency military mobilizations. 7 would attempt preemptive strikes on human colonies and learn why humanity had spent 5 years studying their tactics, their weaknesses, their every vulnerability. But that was still to come. For now, as Elena and Adam's shuttle jumped to hyperspace, carrying them back toward a blue marble of a planet that had been underestimated for far too long, there was only one certainty echoing through the corridors of power across 47 worlds. Humanity had arrived. And the galaxy would never be the same.